We spoke before about these studs being loose and not being right home. So what I've gone and done is found an old Fergie brake drum. We'll stick the axle in. I'll try and bring it to where you can see what I'm doing. Get in there. There we go. Just lovely. Now, if I move you over there and zoom you in, it's not a real good shot on the screen, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring a punch down here and give these a good flog and just see if we can drive them home. Almost there. So that one's home. We'll bring him around to this other one, this fella here. Can you still see? Only just. I've never cracked a brake drum doing this, but I always like to use an old one anyway. So there you go. Where's my viewfinder here? I'll pop that out. And all the studs should now be the same length. And you can see this one here. You can't see that this one here can probably go a little bit further. There's just a little air gap we can see under there. Which one was that? This one. There you go, that should be fine. Well, we've got those studs back in, and I was looking at it and I was thinking, if you just had to put a stud in, you can do it like that if you needed to. On the tractor, sometimes you can actually pull them through with the nuts, use a couple of nuts and pull them in. But if you're going to drill the collar and pull this whole housing off like I'm going to do, you could probably wait and get a far straighter hit without this housing here. But not every time you want to replace a wheel stud do you have that available. So yeah, or do you have that off? But look, to stop the oil coming on here, we could polish this surface here and just replace that. But look, we're here now and we got the gear, so I'm going to drill the collar, take the collar off. We're going to look at the bearing, replace the outer seal. Whether we replace the bearing or not, we'll make up our mind when we see the condition of it. And away we go. We'll do the job properly. We want to be able to drive this around for a lot of years yet with a big grin. So follow along. Okay, you can see me good looking boot here. Hey, I haven't got my thongs on today. Safety Sam. And we'll just drill down through this collar as far as we can go. Hear the change of note there? That means the point is just touching the bearing. And you'll notice there's no swirl. So we're all the way. Turn that around a little bit. And I have two ways of doing this. One of them is I have a punch that I can bang down there and that just splits it. But today we'll go and get a coal chisel and we'll just crack where we've drilled there with the coal chisel, and that should spread that enough to get it off. I'll just grab that chisel. Okay, I'm back. Like that bloody auntie you don't like. So if we just knock and that's stretched that collar enough. We can just slide him off. Now, that bearing won't be so easy. What I'll do now, I'll actually go and I'll take this over to the parts washer and give it a bath. And the reason we're giving it a bath is just trying to get some of that drilling swarth out in case we want to use the bearings. If you don't want to use the bearings again, no need to wash it, just press on it, and if you mark the bearings it doesn't matter. So I'll go and give this a bath. I'll bolt the big puller plate to go into the press on it, and then we'll press it apart and see what our seals look like. Right, I've gone and got the plate that I made in an early video, and this is our pressing plate for pressing these fellas off. So off we go to the press, we'll pop them apart and see what we got. So I've pressed the bearing out. I didn't film that, I've got a couple of videos on that, but there's the bearing. The bearing does look in good condition. When we get to the cup here, we'll have a good look at that. Now if I get my knockometer, or there we go. And that there is what you're left with. So you've got a bearing there, and look, that bearing looks really good. And we have an external seal here. The seal comes out this way. Sorry, I'll keep you in frame. The seal comes out this way to the outside, so we can hop inside and knock that out. And if the bearing's okay, there's no need to knock it out. We can just leave that as is, put the bearing back, replace this seal, put the bearing back, and away we go. And on the axle shaft here, everything's looking good. The seal surface, there's a little mark there, but that's not going to matter. There's quite a mark here. You can actually feel that from a leather seal. So we're going to polish that up, and we're going to put a neoprene double lip seal in there, I think, and that won't give us any trouble either. So stay tuned, we'll go and get everything washed up, and we'll start getting ready for assembly. Right, what you've just missed because I didn't turn the camera on properly is while you have the brake drum here, set the housing over the brake drum, then come in through here and knock down this way. And I've already done it because I've already done it because I thought the camera was on, but I hadn't pressed the record button hard enough apparently. And what that does, it pulls this seal, it knocks this seal through, knocks the seal from the bearing side out. So there's no real need to remove that bearing in our case, so looks good.